For generations, the United States was hailed as the land of boundless opportunity, where hard work and determination could turn anyone into a success story. But in 2025, that promise feels increasingly hollow. The nation is undergoing a slow, silent collapse that few in power are willing to acknowledge. Homelessness is surging, the middle class is shrinking, and millions of everyday Americans are struggling just to get by. Once a symbol of hope and prosperity, the American dream now seems like a distant memory. This is the uncomfortable, dark truth about America today, the illusion of wealth. On the surface, the United States still dazzles the world. Skyscrapers pierce the skyline of New York. Billion-dollar tech giants thrive in Silicon Valley. Miami pulses with luxury cars, celebrity mansions, and sun-drenched opulence. To the casual observer, America still looks like the symbol of global power and prosperity. But beneath that glittering surface lies a different, harsher truth. It's 2025, and more than half of all Americans live paycheck to paycheck, walking a financial tightrope with no safety net. Wages have barely moved, yet the cost of everything, from housing and food to gas and medical care, has soared beyond reason. Even with its vast wealth and global influence, the U.S. is witnessing an internal unraveling. In cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Portland, the crisis is visible on every corner. Tents line sidewalks where families once lived in homes. Cardboard signs plead for food. Entire blocks have become open-air shelters, modern-day Hoovervilles hidden in plain sight. This wasn't the promise. This wasn't the dream. So how did we end up here, in the richest country on earth? The truth is unsettling. It's an illusion of wealth. A grand performance where a small elite thrives while millions silently suffer. Behind every shining tower is a shadow. Behind every luxury condo, a soul sleeping rough. The American dream still exists, but only for the few who can afford the price of entry. For the rest, it's a relentless struggle masked by the myth of prosperity, the death of the middle class. Once the heartbeat of the American dream, the middle class is now gasping for air. It used to be the symbol of stability, where hard work meant owning a home, raising a family, and retiring with dignity. But in 2025, that dream feels more like a distant echo than a living reality. Home ownership, once a proud milestone of adulthood, has slipped beyond reach for most young people. Starter homes have become luxury investments. Wages haven't kept pace, but housing prices have skyrocketed. For many, renting isn't a temporary step, it's a lifelong sentence. Healthcare, it's no longer about staying healthy, but staying financially afloat. A single medical emergency can mean bankruptcy. Even with insurance, the deductibles are suffocating. And college, once the golden ticket to a better life, is now a gamble that leaves graduates shackled with debt for decades. The average American is drowning, not in water, but in bills. Credit card balances that never shrink, rents that devour half their income, car payments that rival mortgages, student loans that never seem to end. And while millions tighten their belts just to survive, corporate America thrives. Companies post record profits, executives cash in stock options. Billion-dollar stock buybacks inflate the market while workers are told to do more with less. The gap is no longer just wide, it's a canyon. The top 1% now owns more wealth than the bottom 90% combined. And the ladder that was supposed to help Americans rise? It's rusted, broken, missing half its rungs. Each generation is forced to climb higher with less support, fewer guarantees, and mounting pressure. The American dream was built on the idea of upward mobility, that no matter where you start, you can rise. But today, it feels like a rigged casino. The rules favor the house, the dice are loaded, and the odds stacked against the very people who believed in the promise. The dream hasn't just faded, it's been sold to the highest bidder. A nation divided. But money isn't the only fault line tearing America apart. In 2025, the nation is fractured, not just economically, but politically, socially, and emotionally. Everywhere you turn, it's red versus blue, a battle of ideologies that rarely leaves space for nuance. Urban versus rural, two different Americas that barely speak the same language anymore. And perhaps most dangerous of all, facts versus misinformation. Trust in the media has collapsed. Once seen as a pillar of democracy, journalism is now met with skepticism or outright hostility. Each side accuses the other of spreading lies, while truth becomes harder and harder to find. In Washington, leaders point fingers across the aisle. They blame, they bicker, but they rarely fix anything. While the elite play political chess, ordinary citizens are trapped in the crossfire. casualties of a culture war that never ends. Social media only makes it worse. What started as a way to connect the world now tears it apart. Algorithms don't promote peace, they reward outrage. The angrier you are, the more you click. The more you click, the more you're fed only what you already believe. It's a cycle, a trap, and the truth? It gets buried under the noise. Even democracy itself is trembling. Voter turnout has plunged. Confidence in elections, once sacred, is now deeply divided. Many question whether their vote even matters. Is this what we were building toward? Is this really the future our ancestors fought for? The one our grandparents dreamed of when they built homes, marched for rights, and believed in something bigger than themselves? Or have we simply lost sight of the ideals that once bound us together? Freedom, justice, unity? America was never perfect, but it once aspired to be. Now, the question is, can we still find common ground, or have we drifted too far to remember what it even looks like? Crisis on every corner. The crises tearing through America today go far beyond politics and class warfare. In 2025, the United States finds itself grappling with not just one, but multiple overlapping humanitarian emergencies, each one devastating on its own, together forming a perfect storm. Take the opioid epidemic. It's no longer a hidden crisis, it's a national catastrophe claiming over 100,000 lives every single year. Entire communities are hollowed out. Families mourn silently as another loved one slips away to an addiction fueled by overprescription, neglect, and despair. And then there's the invisible war waged inside people's minds. Mental health struggles are surging, especially among the youth. Teenagers battle depression, anxiety, and isolation in record numbers. Suicides rise, therapy waits stretch for months, and still, the stigma clings tightly, keeping many from speaking up until it's too late. Gun violence? It's no longer headline-worthy unless it's massive. Shootings have become so common, they barely register. A classroom, a supermarket, a parade, no place is truly safe. Americans now plan their exits in public spaces, just in case. And as if that weren't enough, climate change is no longer theoretical. It's here. Now wildfires devour entire towns, hurricanes level coastal neighborhoods, flash floods and heat waves cripple cities. And all the while, America's aging infrastructure crumbles under the strain, unable to adapt, unable to protect. The system is cracking, overwhelmed from every direction, resources are stretched thin, leadership is paralyzed, solutions feel too slow, too late. And yet, for millions of Americans, there's nowhere else to go. No backup country, no escape plan, just survival, day to day. They wake up, go to work, take care of their kids, scroll their phones, and hope that tomorrow won't bring another tragedy to their doorstep. Because deep down, many still hold on to a fading belief that maybe, just maybe, the dream isn't dead, it's just waiting to be rebuilt. Why it matters globally. For generations, the world has looked to the United States as a beacon, a leader in democracy, a driver of innovation, a cultural powerhouse that shaped music, movies, technology, and policy. The US wasn't just admired, it was imitated. Nations around the globe modeled their systems on American ideals. Students dreamed of studying there. Entrepreneurs sought investment there. Refugees risked everything just for a chance to start over there. But now, in 2025, something has changed. What happens when the leader of the free world struggles to care for its own people? When rising homelessness, mass shootings, and political paralysis become the new normal? When a country so rich, so powerful, can't keep its families fed or its children safe? This isn't just a domestic crisis. It's a message sent out to the world, loud and clear. The fading of the American dream isn't an isolated tragedy, it's a global red flag. It reveals the cost of unchecked capitalism where profit is prioritized over people. It reveals the danger of deep political division, where compromise is seen as weakness. And it shows the long-term damage of social decay, when communities stop believing in shared truth and collective progress. The world is watching, not with admiration, but with caution. Because history has shown one sobering truth. Even the strongest empires don't fall from enemies at the gate, they crumble from within. And if it can happen in America, it can happen anywhere. So what do you think? Is the American dream dead or just sleeping? Can it be revived, or is it too far gone? Let's start the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more content the mainstream media won't show you, hit subscribe and give this video a like. It helps us reach more people. Thanks for watching. Stay aware, stay questioning, and until next time, take care of each other.